Here's why you play Odette, the Swan Princess, in the mid lane. First off, she has excellent poking abilities, allowing her to harass enemies from a safe distance. Her passive can spread skill effects, making her even more dangerous when paired with magic damage items. Odette also excels in team fights as her ultimate deals massive AoE damage and enhances her passive. Lastly, she can be nearly unstoppable if enemies lack crowd control, making her a dominant force in fights. However, Odette requires her ultimate for damage, meaning she is vulnerable when it is on cooldown. She also has limited mobility, relying on flicker to reposition. Additionally, she is easily countered by crowd control, making it crucial to position well in fights. Odette's passive ability, Lakeshore Ambience. Each time Odette casts a skill, her next basic attack gains extra range and bounces between enemies, dealing magic damage. If only one enemy is nearby, the attack will bounce between Odette and the enemy. Additionally, her skills will trigger this passive when hitting enemies. This effect stacks up to 3 times, making her basic attacks and spells deal more AoE damage over time. Odette's first skill, Avian Authority, sends a magic swan in the target direction, dealing magic damage to enemies hit and slowing them for a short duration. This skill is her main poke tool, allowing her to deal consistent damage and control enemy movements in lane. Odette's second skill, Blue Nova, releases magic energy balls in the target direction, dealing magic damage and immobilizing the first enemy hit. After striking an enemy, another magic ball splits off to attack a nearby enemy, prioritizing enemy heroes. This skill is great for catching enemies and setting up her ultimate. Odette's ultimate, Swan Song, allows Odette to start dancing, gaining a large shield while dealing massive magic damage to enemies in a large area around her over time. Her passive's bounce effect is also enhanced, increasing its speed and frequency. Odette can recast this skill while active to dash in the target direction. However, the skill is a channeling ability, meaning it will be interrupted if she is hit by high-level crowd control effects such as airborne or transformation. A typical skill combo for Odette is to start with her second skill to immobilize enemies, making them easier to hit. Immediately follow up with her ultimate to deal continuous damage while taking advantage of her passive's bounce effect. If enemies try to escape, use a dash from her ultimate to reposition. Once the ultimate ends, finish them off with her first skill to deal extra damage and slow them down. Moving on to builds, I usually build Magic Shoes, Blurred Wings, Genius Wand, Lightning Truncheon, Wishing Lantern, and Holy Crystal. These are the emblems that go along with this build. As for battle spells, I usually recommend Flicker as the best spell for Odette, as it allows her to reposition after casting her ultimate or escape from danger. Odette's ultimate deals massive AoE damage and is effective against heroes who lack interruption skills such as Layla and Irithel, as these heroes struggle to stop her once she begins casting. However, Odette is countered by heroes with strong crowd control abilities such as Mentor and Edith, who can easily interrupt her ultimate and shut her down in fights. You should pair Odette with heroes who can reposition her, like Johnson and Jawhead, to help her find the perfect spot to cast her ultimate. You should upgrade first skill level 1 for poke damage and prioritize maxing first skill first for more consistent damage. Upgrade her second skill as a backup for crowd control, and most importantly, upgrade her ultimate whenever available for maximum burst damage. Positioning is key when playing Odette. Since her ultimate is her main source of damage, always ensure you're casting it in a safe yet effective spot, preferably behind your front line. Use Flicker to reposition mid-ultimate if enemies attempt to escape. Odette works best in team fights, so avoid isolated fights where her passive won't bounce effectively. Her second skill is a great tool for initiating, so use it to catch enemies before unleashing her full combo. Additionally, items like Winter Crown can help buy time during her ultimate, making her harder to interrupt. Lastly, pairing with heroes that provide crowd control will allow Odette to deal maximum damage with her ultimate without being easily interrupted.